Hello and welcome to the Horror House Podcast. I'm Dave.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Tim.
We are four dudes that like to talk about horror stuff. Movies, real life, alien death footage, government
Porcupine titties.
government secrets. No, I do that by myself. And we complain about certain things, but we also praise other things, but less. They have to be really good now. We've seen so much shit that now here we are. And I have some things to complain about later. So help me God, and we'll get to them. But first, we got other stuff to talk about.
Sure. Guys, 2 days and we'll be in Cincinnati. The Horror Hound weekend at the Sharonville Convention Center. Are you guys as geeked as I am?
It'll be fun. Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
I was informed never to go to Cincinnati.
That was Sin City.
Titty
Never
City?
go to Sin City.
I have a great
Sin City.
Cincinnati
Oh, black and
story.
white. Oh. Sin City. Fun fact. Home, a birthplace even, of the McFish. The
Like
McFish,
casinos
the McDonald's McFish. In the 50s and 60s, when McDonald's was really kind of expanding their empire, they did decide they needed an option for Catholics on Fridays, and they sold a grilled pineapple sandwich. And it was a McDonald's franchise owner in Cincinnati went out on a limb, started selling a fish. And they told him to stop, but it was so popular, he's like, I don't want to stop. Everybody's got it. So they set him up with a competition and tried to sabotage him, and it didn't work. The McFish kicked everybody's ass, and now it's a staple on the McDonald's menu.
I can honestly say I've never ate it one single time in my entire life.
I
I
have.
have. It's the least flavorful fish you've ever eaten.
Yeah, it's
It
pretty
doesn't
bad.
even look like something I want to put in me.
Fun fact. Another fun fact, if you decide not to eat it, it works as a pinky eraser.
That bad.
That bothers
No,
me more
one
than some
time-
of the movies we've watched recently.
I went to the AP tour in Cincinnati one time at the Bogart Theater in Cincinnati, Ohio. And it was awesome theater, really cool place. There's a place called Acme Tattooing right next door.
It's a great venue. It's a great fucking venue.
Yeah, awesome venue. Went and saw Circus Survive. Here's What We Aim For. Bunch of bands, and went back. We're leaving the venue after the concert. Had a great time. Leaving the venue, I took a buddy with me there. I was 18 years old. Took a buddy with me. We're in Cincinnati. We're in the cab. We shared a cab because we were super broke with a couple. The girl was super drunk and talking about how if she really wanted to, she definitely couldn't have fucked Anthony Green, who was the lead singer of Circus Survive. She's like, yeah, he's always messaging me on MySpace. This is back in the days of MySpace. And blah, blah. And like, I totally could have fucked him. And like, my buddy Ian kept like, I'm sitting in the front because I always sit in the front of cabs and Ubers and shit like that because I'm weird. He's like leaning up on the seat, whispering, be like, we should see if she wants to go back to our hotel room. I'm like, first of all, it's a motel room. Second of all, she's like 27, 28 years old. We're like 18, and I think he was 17 at the time. She's not going with us. So they get out of the cab, fighting still.
Sounds like we totally would have gone with you guys. Sorry.
That didn't happen.
All three of you.
We went
The driver, too. She would have invited the driver along.
we went to the Motel 6, and Ian proceeded to take the landline phone, because it didn't have a cordless phone, into the bathroom and call hookers, because Cincinnati Classified have hookers in the back. I think he was trying to get like free dirty talk or something. He ended up inviting someone, one of the hookers, to the hotel room next door. We're sitting there at the window waiting for this hooker to show up. Hooker shows up, knocks on the door. Somebody answers because apparently somebody was in that room. And then about 5 minutes later, some lady comes out of the room. They don't let her in. She leaves. Some lady comes into the room or runs out of the room yelling, "Scooter did it! Scooter did it!" I don't know who Scooter is, but we got him in trouble somehow. Well, he did. I didn't do shit. I was like, I'm not gonna say his name. We'll say his name was Frank. It wasn't Frank. Like, "Frank, get in your bed, lay there." And I shut off all the lights and shit. And he was like, "No, dude, it's fine." I'm like, "Get in the fucking bed." And like and then we got there, we lay there for like 30 minutes and nothing happened. Like no one came to the room to like see if it was us or whatever. I was like, "Hey man, I'm sorry for yelling at you." He's like, "It's all right." And then we just went to sleep. But yeah, no, definitely called a Cincinnati hooker and sent them to the hotel room next door. And it was great. I don't know what ever happened to Scooter. I assume he's dead now. So Scooter, I apologize. But that is that's the last time I was in Cincinnati.
When MySpace still existed.
Two things. One, giving your story and how you thought that was an innocent prank. You should totally choose to do Joyride at some point this season. Have you ever seen Joyride?
No.
Yeah, we should do Joyride at some point, given that story, and you can retell it before we review the movie. And two, I know that girl you're talking about. She's handled more balls than the clowns at the Ringling Brothers Circus. Oh.
Good.
She's been more plowed than Pennsylvania farmland.
I'm just glad that she has a self-sustaining career. It's the world's oldest profession, guys.
All right. Very cool. We're going to have so much fun. So, are we all in agreement? Now, who's driving when we capture Mr. Ty West?
I don't want him. I'm out.
We're going to hold him for ransom.
I don't want Ty West money.
Mia. We're taking him to get to Mia.
You are making this even less
That's
appealing to me.
Don't talk about my girl. Don't talk about my girl. Who do you want to kidnap? God.
I mean,
Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler?
Yeah.
I have a genetic predisposition to being a wheelman. One of my parents did drive the getaway car for some bank robbers. Like 3 times. So,
is that something that's in DNA?
I hope so. I hope that I have that ability.
Well,
I mean, I've never had to use it, but you know what? I'm pretty sure if a Boeing 747 was going down, as they tend to do, I could land that plane. Pretty sure I could do it.
All right. Choice then. Ty West or Clownvis Presley? Who are we kidnapping?
I don't know why Henry Winkler is off the table.
It's been done. I'm pretty sure he got captured in a movie. Kidnapped in a movie.
It does sound familiar.
Yeah. Plus, he'd just like, bam, snap his fingers and give the fist bump to the car, and it'd be like, shut down.
It'd shut down. Do the Fonz bump.
He's pulling the Fonz on it.
He probably needs some care. He is an older gentleman now, and I don't know that I care enough to help him. So maybe he is off the table for me. I ain't living that life.
But we could use him to get to Vic and Valancourt. She showed me her movies, and I liked it.
Vicky Valancourt? She's going to be there?
No, but we're going to use Henry Winkler to get to her.
They both
I assume if they work
on
a movie together, they're like best friends now.
Yeah.
Probably.
I am very geeked. I had an idea of doing advertising it as just the world's dumbest interviews and setting up the camera and just having randos come in and interviewing them. And like, okay, I'll interview you. You get 1 question, you get 2 questions. And just be the dumbest interviews possible. It's what I do best.
You should get a sign like a 2-ply sign that just says free interviews. Because people love free shit.
If it's free, it's me. I'll be clawing at myself to get my own free interview.
And that will help me find you guys when the night's over.
Yeah, because Chris will be nowhere to be found.
Which is,
Chris will be like, guys, I did coke in the bathroom with Henry Winkler. It was so fun.
it's like a baby's arm.
That totally seems more like a Jeff move than a Chris move. Chris was like, I was hiding in the stall next to him.
Couldn't get out.
Weekend at Henry Winkler's instead of Bernie's.
Yeah, exactly. Henry Winkler's been dead.
That's
for
the
years,
story.
guys.
Henry Winkler does coke and dies in the bathroom, and then me and Jeff have to puppet him through his appearance.
Right.
Yes. Just in time for his new movie. You have to show up on the set.
Yeah.
It becomes like a 3-year thing. It's just like, oh man, why is Henry always wearing this trench coat now?
Sounds more like
Uh.
John Malkovich now.
Yeah.
Only instead of like inside pupping him, you were just outside pupping him.
Right. The world's shortest marionette. That's rough. I actually was talking about Henry Winkler today because there's a guy that I work with. He's an older gentleman. We get along real well. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to this, this con this weekend. I'm, pretty excited. It's a horror movie sort of themed con, just horror in general. But I was like, hey, Henry Winkler's going to be there. And he's like, oh, that's awesome. I was like, yeah, blah, blah, the Fonz. And there's like 2 younger people that sit in his cubicle with him. And they're like, who's the Fonz? And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm only 35. Like, I'm not that fucking old. But I know who the Fonz is, but I also stayed at my grandmother's a lot, and TV Land was on quite often. So yeah, I know who the Fonz is, but yeah, they're like, who's the Fonz? I was like, Happy Days. I was like, what, Sunday, Monday, Happy Days. And they were like, what are you saying right now? I'm like, how is there a generation that has never seen an episode of Happy Days? Like, how is that a thing? I don't understand. I'm getting off task. But yes, the weekend should be fun.
Trust me, live this life. Old things that we engaged in on the daily, kids are like, you're telling me the phone was attached to the wall? With a cord? Don't understand.
Doesn't make any
You
sense.
clothesline your family?
I clothesline my enemies.
If you guys see this weekend, bearded man arrested in Cincinnati for clotheslining patrons to the whorehound.
Chris, you're muted.
You're
You're
muted.
muted.
I was muted. I thought I muted myself. I distinctly remember pushing the button, but I don't distinctly remember pushing it twice, so checks out. Do you know what time it is?
Full time?
It is tool time.
The news.
I've been watching that here recently. It's on Netflix.
Zachary Bryan was arrested for drunk driving or abuse or something like that.
Who?
The blonde kid?
Zachary Bryan, the
younger
older son.
brothers.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
So the younger one is Jonathan Taylor Thomas, right? He plays.
He's the
for,
middle.
No, he's the
running
middle
back.
child.
he's the middle child.
Oh, well, he plays running back for the Indianapolis Colts.
Coming in at 5'2".
Does he hang on to a lineman's back and he's
Yeah, they hide the ball. It doesn't. It says you're not allowed to throw you can't throw the ball forward after you pass the line of scrimmage. But it doesn't say anything about throwing one of your running backs while he's holding the ball.
yeah.
Curmudgeon toss. Curmudgeon toss left.
It doesn't mention tool time once in this playbook. We're legal. Who's got news? I have news that goes along with Dave's news.
All right, I'll throw that first piece of news out. there's a new trailer for the Toxic Avenger, and the mystery has been solved. We kind of thought it would be this way, but I was kind of 50-50 whether Peter Dinklage was going to be Toxic Avenger post-transformation, or if it was going to be only pre-transformation, and then they have somebody bigger play post-transform. But no! Peter Dinklage is the Toxic Avenger.
He's actually not. He's not. He is just the voice.
Okay, so he's just voicing, he's not acting it.
Yeah,
but it is a small person.
A female, even. There is a article that I found. Luisa Guerrero plays Toxie.
Okay.
The physical parts. And Dinkelman just does the voice. And
he's the James Earl Jones of Toxic Avenger.
He is such a good voice actor. Let us remember that his character in Destiny, the ghost thing that follows you around, was completely overdubbed by Nolan North like a year after the game came out. Because nobody liked him. He was absolutely not great at it. Maybe he'll be getting this.
It makes me wonder if there's going to be a lot of physicality to the role if they have a whole different person play the physical creature. So, or if Peter Dinklage is such a big star that he's just like, I'll do your movie, but but I'm doing it from this fucking chair.
It's like Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal?
Yeah, he just does the Mandalorian's voice most of the time.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize he wasn't in the suit.
Unless you see him physically without the helmet, then it's
right.
Usually not him.
That sucks.
In the season 3 where he was pissing at the urinal, I think that was him though. That was really Pedro Pascal's piss.
It was jarred, bottled.
They cathered it out of the fucking actor.
If you go
Just
to my,
it was Pedro Pascal's piss.
If you go to my website, Dave Seymour is an angel.
In the arms
for pennies a day, even you can own Pedro Pascal's piss. Go to Chris's own Pedro Pascal piss bottling company.com, and you
here in this hotel room
can buy your own Pedro Pascal
searching
piss
for the light.
Various ounces or liters, gallons. I don't know what you're after, but we got it.
A lot of piss.
It's really Tim's piss. He doesn't know this yet.
Just okay. I pee a lot, so I get the bladder of a.
You're telling me. You're telling me. I have a thing set up with your wife that you don't know about. She sends it to me when you're done, and I sell it on the dark webs as celebrity pee of various kinds. It's not all Pedro Pascal because you pee a lot. God,
I do pee a lot. As soon as we're done with the news, I'm gonna go pee. So, it'll be a good time.
I can't wait to meet it. That was my part of the news. It is a female. I got that right before we started, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they would pick a female stunt woman to do it. I feel
maybe she's really good.
I don't.
Like I said, I wonder if there's going to be a lot of physicality to it, and that she is just.
Has she done other stuff?
I think it said she did. I'm not familiar with the name, but
right.
Yeah. Didn't mean to click
Neil
that.
Blomkamp his name has been attached to a Starship Troopers remake.
Oh, I saw that.
We're into, yeah. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I thought District 9 was very unique, and so I'm kind of interested in that.
He had some cool alien ideas at one point. I'm not the biggest alien expert or anything, but like I thought what he was thinking of doing was kind of neat at the time. I don't remember what any of it was now, and then that never happened. And District 10 is still supposedly a thing that could happen someday.
I've heard that, but I think that maybe we're moving on if he's attached to Starship Troopers. So maybe news, maybe not. There are some rumblings, and I guess somebody teased that the studio that brought you Cloverfield is finally moving towards a direct Cloverfield sequel, which I'm there for. I'm there for if they actually do this. I like the Cloverfield, all of them. Paradox even I didn't not like, but I would watch a Cloverfield sequel, direct sequel. Give me more of that.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
No.
They've had like 4 shots at this, and still their universe is like a ball of yarn that got soaked in Tim's piss.
Why is my pee everywhere?
That's my joke I've hung on to.
This episode is starring Tim's piss.
That's
The YouTube
pee into the camera.
The YouTube edit of this is that's what I'm gonna name it. I'm gonna film a commercial and everything.
It's just me doing.
Just call it the yellow episode. The yellow episode.
Well, no,
and we should.
We're selling it as celebrities piss. So we're not advertising your piss specifically.
Just use me doing those shots, but do deep fakes over my face.
Deepfakes.com.
There we go.
Deepfake B. Arthur standing up at the urinal and taking a piss.
That's kind of what I just seen. Anyways,
we've got B. Arthur piss.
Tim.
I guess B. Arthur piss smells really bad. So if Jen tries to feed you asparagus tonight, you know what's up.
Noted.
How do you get piss from a dead person?
I finally watched the trailer. Who?
How do you get piss from a dead person?
You don't.
We
you
collect
just say you
before
have
she
it.
died. Yeah, we just. Yeah.
How do you preserve that though?
Maybe she's not really dead. Maybe she's pulling an Elvis. You don't know. You're not the boss of me.
You're right. I don't know about B. Arthur's body.
She's pulling a reverse Weekend at Bernie's. She's faking her death.
She is.
I finally watched the trailer. I've heard about this movie for a minute, but I finally watched the trailer, The Rule of Jenny Penn, that should be coming out later this month to theaters, starring John Lithgow. The movie involves a kind of, what's the truth? Is somebody crazy, or is there really demonic possession, or what's going on here, or manipulation? Starring John Lithgow, and it is entirely set in a retirement home, and I'm so there for it. It looks really good. It looks like it's got a good creep vibe to it. So I'm totally in.
All right,
Jeff, I need your opinion here. John Lithgow in a horror movie set in a retirement home. There we go.
There you have it.
I've loved him since I've loved it since Dexter. I mean, he was good in 30 Rock too, or 30 Rock from the Sun, but like when he was the Trinity Killer in Dexter, spoiler alert,
I hated him.
And that was
he killed my celebrity girlfriend.
Oh, Rita?
Yeah, I loved her.
Rita Perlman is your celebrity girlfriend? That's weird.
Yeah. I'm going to beat up yeah.
If you go to chris'sbottlepiss.com, you may be able to find some keepsakes.
David Vito. I got a quick review yesterday. Yesterday, after work, Stella and I went to watch The Monkey, based on a Stephen King short story from the Skeleton Crew book about a cursed wind-up monkey that kills people when the key is turned. And you can't command the monkey who you want to kill. It has its mind of its own. It decides who and when it wants to kill.
It's very funny.
It is. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
It is got a humorous take, but it has a pretty decent little body count. Some good gore. Yeah. I thought it was very entertaining. So, very entertaining. It is on my recommend list. I don't feel like you need to see it in the theaters unless you're just really in love and want to look deep into the eyes of Big Lots James Franco, aka Theo James. Um, but I thought it was good. I thought it was good.
The theater guy's telling you you don't need to watch it in the theater. That's kind of
Yeah. I think
that's kind of
I
crazy.
love theaters. You know how I am about theaters, but there's not a big spectacle like that you have to see in that setting.
Independence Day.
But it is very
Star Wars.
entertaining, and I don't think it'll take long to come to streaming. I mean, things leave the theater and they're on streaming in a month these days. Sometimes not even that. But I definitely think it's worth a watch.
Side note: don't you ever sully Theo James' name ever again.
Who is Theo
Thank you.
James?
It's Big Lots James Franco.
No, he's much better than James Franco. But so
Have you ever been inside of Theo James?
no,
I
but a
think
lot
we
of
all-
a lot of 17-year-olds have been with James Franco. So we'll move on from that.
took it. We all went inside of James Franco, and this is the end.
I've never seen this guy before in my life.
But he's in the Gentleman TV show on Netflix, which is a continuance of The Gentleman from Netflix. Or it's not from Netflix, but The Gentleman's really good. But yeah, no, Theo James is fantastic.
Gentlemen, is he a gigolo? That's what it sounds like.
No, he is a gangster, like a modern day gangster.
I can proudly say I have never watched any of the Divergent series, but that's where Stella knew him from.
Yeah, he's in that too.
I don't
Never-
even know what
first
that
one
is.
First one was pretty fun.
Never saw 5 minutes of any of them. I saw one of the Hunger Games in the theater with Matt, and it was okay. It was okay. They had the fucking jacked up hornets, like genetically engineered. I said, what kind of madman genetically engineers a hornet? They're already the bastards of nature.
What if these killed better? What if you
More
were more
aggressive.
scared of a hornet?
Right. They jacked up the aggressiveness. I got stung one time walking down the road. Like, I wasn't bothering anything. I didn't swat at it. I didn't even know it existed. It just come up and like, oh, you like your eyes? Fuck you. Bam. Got me right above the fucking eye.
I got attacked by a cloud of hornets once as a kid with some of my cousins, and it was like we were just chopping shit up with like a little hatchet that we had found, and then all of a sudden they're like, run, and I look up and it was just a cloud of pain making
Sun
its
was
way,
blotted out.
and we ran and we were like taking our little kids' clothes off, but like modesty is gone once you're getting stung like 10 times in a row, and you're like, get everything off. And shoot me in the face with any kind of weapon you have, because fuck living right now.
It's rough. That is rough.
But if it's a shotgun, I'll probably survive.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anything,
That is
they pulled
that
the
is
shotgun out. I'm
Chris's
like, you got
claim to
anything better?
fame.
Anything stronger than the shotgun? Just stab me.
do what you gotta do.
Tim has news. Get your news.
Yeah. So first bit of news, it's just weird, but it's kind of horror esque. The UN, I actually read this earlier today. The UN interviewed some of the game designers for Helldivers 2 to get their take on brainwashing and propaganda. I wonder why. But yeah, a UN panel interviewed some of the devs for Helldivers 2, the game designers, to go over their, because if you guys have ever played Helldivers 2, it's very much like
Starship Troopers with their propaganda.
it's Starship, yeah,
Yeah.
it's super fascist.
You want to die for your planet, soldier?
Yeah,
It's like,
it's super duper fascist, super duper like. They give you hints in the game that like these people were peaceful until we landed on their planet and then they attacked us, and it's like it's very fascist. So a UN panel interviewed Helldivers 2 devs about propaganda and brainwashing, which I think is hilarious, given our current state of affairs here in the United States. And And then Legacy of Kain Defiance. Great vampire game. Very, very cool hack and slash vampire game. Also with some great puzzle elements. So it stars Kain from Legacy of Kain series, and also
James Franco.
Right, not Raphael. What the fuck is it?
Leonardo.
Raziel?
Doncello.
Razel?
Ra's al Ghul. Batman.
No, not Ra's al Ghul. Razel or
Azrael.
something like that. I can't remember how to say his name.
Gargamel.
Who is she?
Gargamel?
Razel from the Soul Calibur, or not Soul Calibur. Fuck.
Azrael.
Soul Reaver series. And it's two different play styles though. It's really cool. So like the Kain shit, I'm just gonna keep going back to you guys. The Kain shit is very hack and slash, and then the Razel stuff is like platformer, puzzly, jumpy shit. It's a lot of fun.
Guy Gardner.
And it's voiced by Drake. So.
That's not at all true. It's not at all true. But it's a very good game. It's free if you have Amazon Prime, so you guys should check that out. And it's very it has a lot of horror themes, a lot of gothic architecture, a lot of fun too. So check that out, and it's for free if you have Amazon Prime.
What are you doing with your life if you don't have Prime by now? Give Bezos money for Super Earth.
The authorities have confiscated Tim for claiming that Drake voiced that video game. I don't know why he said something like that.
It's gone forever. Did I have our names up the entire time?
I'm sure he is being given due process in an El Salvadorian jail right now.
I mean, if you're going to have a Guantanamo Bay, you're not going to use it? You're not going to use it? Anyways.
What are we doing with our life? He's been kidnapped. It's his movie. He needs to give the back of the box. So,
till he gets back.
Does Fonda want to do it? Fonda, jump in there.
She's not watched it. She don't even know what it is.
I know Chris did not watch this before this week. Jeff, had you seen this already?
No.
Why wouldn't I have not seen this? Do you assume I've never seen anything?
You told me
think I've never watched a movie in my life. I'm offended. I thought Dave was my friend this whole time.
Yeah, my pick this week.
We've never mended those bridges after Bly Manor.
You burn those posts down. Straight down. And where were they planted, Dave?
Like the Department of Education.
My heart. They were planted in my heart. You burned my heart down with those bridges. Jesus Christ. Tim.
Yep.
I don't want your pity songs right now. I know what you're trying to do. And it works. It worked. It worked. We're friends. I forgive you.
What you got for me?
This was your pick. Give us your back of the box VHS box description of Totally Killer.
I don't really. It threw me a curveball like 15 minutes in, so that I was not expecting.
Shut up, Freddy. There we go.
Girl tries to stop her mother's killer by stopping his original kills. How does she do that? We'll discuss. Yeah.
She pulls Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Oh, I spoiled it. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, no,
Spoiler
definitely.
That's some references.
That was the biggest fucking curveball because I didn't know anything about this movie. I just saw I was like new horror movies, and it like came up on I was like, oh, this looks like fun. It looks like it's going to be like sort of a horror comedy, which it was. There was some very funny parts in there for me anyway. I thought they were hilarious.
I must have fell asleep at that part.
Oh shit! I enjoyed this movie. I'm not even gonna lie. I enjoyed it.
If I could switch me and Tim places or names right now, I would. You're the new Chris Tim. I'm sorry.
But
it's rough living with Dave. He'll go after you.
It's I thought it was funny, but yeah, it does throw a time traveling curveball at you like 15 minutes into the movie,
Yeah.
which was
Jump the shark.
yeah, definitely jumped the shark. I mean, it was fun,
And not one Huey Lewis song. That's
No,
that's why I couldn't take it serious.
Yeah, so yeah, the
Went heavy on the Bengals.
premise of the movie is like there's these murders that happened 30 years prior, 40 years prior almost, and the killer comes back suddenly and kills the main character's mom, which she was a total badass, by the way. During that fight scene, she threw down pretty solidly. I mean, she got, but like she fucking threw down there for a minute. I mean, the dude outweighed
I don't think
her by
that
at
lasted a
least
minute.
40 pounds.
It was pretty quick.
Plus,
Yeah.
he got maced. He got stabbed in the chest. Next morning, old man ain't nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, that was a
He's
little.
he might be a mutant. He might be Wolverine.
I mean, he was a black belt, so we learned later in the story. So, but yeah, no, it was goofy.
I think
My
that's
favorite part
incorrect.
of the. Do what now?
He's not the black belt. The original killer was the black belt.
Oh, it's right, and then he. Right,
Because
the time travel fucked me up.
It is a little timely wobbly. What's the Doctor Who say about time travel? Wibbly wobbly or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Timey-wimey.
But that's one of your
Timey-wimey
first clues that the black guy, Troy, in the past, who is the principal in the current time, was the original killer, is because when they're attacking him, he's pulling some juvenile fucking shit.
Yeah.
But before that, he talks about, I'm the hall monitor. I'm a black belt. So
Yeah.
that was one of your first hints.
Yeah, you're right though. The killer of the mom was the podcaster. Because all podcasters are serial killers.
Story going.
Right.
But no, I liked the time travel thing. Definitely jump on the shark. But my favorite part of the movie was a 2023 teen being in the 80s and having to deal with that and like making snide little comments about how bad it was. It was fucking hysterical to me.
I thought that was a trope.
They didn't mention her clothes at all. In most time travel movies, they're like, why are you dressed like that? They just didn't do anything like that at all. Like, she was already dressed like someone from the 80s.
Well, the jacket is almost identical to what Sloane wears in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So, styles repeat.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, she really didn't fit in very bad. If really the people who were not dressed like 80s characters were the people set in the 80s. This did a shitty job, I felt like, of depicting what 80s were really looking like.
I thought at first it was going to be one of those fucking like neon plastered everywhere kind of things because of the woman that she first meets. I'm like, oh, it's going to be one of these things. It was a bait and switch though. Not everything was as bad as she was, but
it wasn't quite as bad, but it was.
Yeah.
I could live with the rest of it. I mean, the poofy hair and all that. But still, no 80s movie since the 80s has ever got 80s hair correct. It's like they don't know how to do it anymore. First, you got to get secondhand smoke in there. Third, you need
smoke. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't believe they manufacture enough hairspray to accurately recreate a single high school from the 80s.
Probably not. They did the whole smoking in the car scene though, which was one of the ones that like I was like, okay, this is gonna be funny. Like, this is gonna be good.
Just to let you guys know, I'm on notice. My girlfriend's watching, and it's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Timey wimey.
And now in trouble because I didn't know that right off the bat. So.
Oh my god. Yeah. Shame.
You were pretty on the bat. I've got there's a lag. There's an internet timey-wimey thing that happens. Jeff is not to blame. He absolutely was on it.
Damn right.
But yeah, I knew them fun fact about Amazon Prime, or Amazon
You can
Video.
subscribe right now.
I knew
Bezos Prime.
that's true. I knew the chick from somewhere. I was like, where is this chick from? And so
Which
I
chick?
like the main character,
Okay.
Jamie.
Yeah.
I knew her from somewhere, and I was like, where do I know this girl
Weird.
from? And so I click the pause. You get the X-ray with Amazon, right? So I clicked on her face, and I was like, okay, where's she from? I didn't see anything that she was in that I knew. It's like, who is this? So then I went to Google, and she's Sabrina from the Sabrina reboot.
Yep.
And Jen and I watched the first season of that.
Me and
I was
Dave
like, okay, I knew
her from Blackcoat's Daughter, which we did.
Okay.
I think that was one of our first 10 episodes of Horror House.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then she also played one of the mind-controlled victims in the recent Longlegs, which is excellent. I think you should watch some of Longlegs.
I haven't seen that yet.
So she's got the filmography. She's
It's
going for Vincent Price. Her goal in life is to take Vincent Price down just in sheer volume. She's been making films just
Hold
since
on.
2006. And she already has 720.
We
credits
need to
her
check in on Jeff. Jeff, how do you feel about Dave's words right now that Sabrina Carpenter is going to be the new Vincent Price? I don't know what her name is. I forgot.
Yeah,
Aaron
no.
Shipka?
It's
Aaron
impossible.
Shipka?
He says no.
No.
Time will
I-
tell. Time will tell.
Right. I like her though. I thought
Yes.
she was fun. But the whole movie was not scary. I don't think there was a moment that I even had a jump scare. It wasn't very
was
scary.
Thinking
what now?
that there would be some kind of maybe to where Scream, the first few Screams, because the last couple Screams got pretty gory, but the first few weren't that bad. Here and there was some kind of stuff, but I thought it would maybe get to a Scream level, I knew it was going to be comedy horror
She mentioned
thing.
Scream, so I mean, it got to the Scream level.
it got
A lot of name dropping in the movie.
I wanted it to get there with the horror, but I kind of it just never rose to that
No.
for the horror of it. And yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
She
Go ahead.
I just want to jump back real quick. As young as she is, 54 acting credits with 3 upcoming movies coming out in the next year and a half.
Can't wait to watch them.
Girl works.
Yeah, yep, she put it in. I thought Nick Cage had a hard time turning down a role.
Realistically, wouldn't it be Nick Cage as the next Vincent Price? Maybe. Because I mean, he does everything. What's his credits up
In
to
fact, Nick Cage has played Nick Cage 52 times in the last 3 years. That's his new thing, is just playing himself.
now? I feel like
Yeah.
I don't need to fact check that. That just feels right.
Sounds correct.
So, Dave, you'd already seen it. Tim, you hadn't seen it?
I had not seen it. No, I just thought it looked like fun. I was trying to go for something lighter. I'm still scarred from Martyrs, so I'm like, I don't want to watch anything heavy.
You'll be all right. But when
Ever.
when it rolls up and the first thing we get is in the town of North Vernon, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
never seen that before. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And then I meet a podcaster named
Chris?
Chris,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, damn. Okay. Load me up, I guess. Let's see what happens. And then by the end of it, I'm like, this is propaganda. This is bullshit, and I didn't do anything to anybody ever in my fucking life. But I may start now. This movie may have turned
Just
me.
give us a-
This may have been the start of the villain arc. I
To
felt
be fair,
very
Chris
targeted.
Chris has been talking about murdering homeless people for years.
Somebody's got to sing Arms of an Angel. Somebody's got to solve this problem, and I can do it for pennies.
Of an angel
Pennies a day.
in the
Pennies from
darkness of the night.
And
But yeah. So,
there was an Ed 209 scene from RoboCop, the boardroom scene.
yep.
I was very targeted with this movie. I don't know what AI they used to get parts of my life.
Right.
What about the mask design?
The what
design?
The mask he wears. The killer.
I hated it.
It was like Max Headroom. It was like Max Headroom, Johnny Bravo, and then like the Energizer Bunny people or Duracell. What were they? The same kind of masks from the
Duracell.
Winona's Big Brown Beaver, Primus, the Primus video, like whatever you call that hyper realized thing. And
I liked it. I liked the mask design. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it didn't unsettle me, unfortunately. Like the movie poster gave me like pseudo like Michael Myers vibes or whatever, like the blank face, but then like it was too well lit the entire time in the movie.
Yeah.
So like it never creeped me out. But I will say what was interesting about this movie is like the first couple of kills were pretty okay. And then they just like got progressively worse as the movie went on. Like like the CG, like the first few seemed very practical, and then like the last 2 or 3 or whatever were like super duper CGI, and it really, really bugged me.
Well, they probably realized that they had to put aside budget for the gravity drop at the end. They're like, oh fuck, send back some of these gallons of fake blood.
Fun fact, it was shot, the gravity drop scenes were shot in a real carnival. It took them 120 tickets to get that scene filmed.
I like that.
Joke of the night.
The only real problems I had with the movie, it wasn't scary. That's not really a problem though. I kind of knew that it'd be light.
Okay, but not scary. Yeah.
Yeah. But
what are we doing here?
I didn't like how the killer definitely did not have the physicality of either killer that you see. Like the Hallmonder kid, he was super skinny, very tall.
Wiry.
The killer was stocky and their same height.
Yeah.
And then when the second killer comes in, also a thin man, not a stocky man, like not a broad man. The killer was always broad-shouldered, stocky, sort of buff guy. So that really took me out of it, that the two different killers had the exact same body type, so you could tell it was the exact same stunt actor, and the stunt actor didn't have the body type of the people that they were potentially portraying.
Yeah,
I know they're trying to like keep the killer's identity a secret or whatever, but like you're not really making a horror movie, so who the fuck cares? And it would have been more interesting to me if us as viewers would have seen like, here's a tall, stocky, like tall, thin killer, and then here's a shorter, thin killer. Like,
but then
like we know.
But then we'd already assumed that there's two killers, and they got to keep that
right
out of idea somehow.
For this movie, which is definitely not taking itself too seriously, I would have liked that, because like then it's like they're in stress, right? They're in duress. They're not paying attention to fine details like that potentially. Not that it's a super fine detail, but so maybe they can't tell it's two killers, but us as viewers can, and that like that would have engaged me more, I think. So those were my two major gripes, is like the physicality of the killer was the same, and the mask was not scary.
The mask has the powers from Jim Carrey's The Mask. You put it on and you
just morph. Yeah, it's really, the killer was Jim Carrey the entire time.
The bulking mask of Bravo.
He needs the money.
Yeah. But I thought the stunts were really good. I thought when the girl gets thrown over the banister and falls down the stairs, like that made me fucking cringe hard. Right. I was like, my back hurts just watching this fucking scene. That was rough. And then when he fucking, at the very beginning, when he throws her through the coffee table, I mean, it was practical, and it looked like it fucking hurt. The stunts in this movie were really good. The dodgeball scene, god damn, that was fucking rough.
That was real. I think they went back to the actual 80s and just videotaped actual dodgeball, Jim Dodgeball.
That's what I'm saying. The stunts in this movie were fantastic.
That was funny. And then the gym teacher being like, "Don't get your gross little kid blood on me." I'm like, writing that down.
This movie had so many good one-liners. But the dodgeball scene when she comes out and she's like, "Oh my god," she's trying to pull her shorts down. It's like, these are school issue. Like, why am I wearing shorts this short? Like, it was, yeah. The whole
in the 80s, even the boy shorts were that short.
Yeah,
that's yeah.
It was a thing.
That was an unrealistic spot because they should have had girls' gym on one side and boys on the other, because that's how God intended it to be for those stupid little shorts, and the guys have to try to exist in puberty in that arena, which is fucking absurd, and they should have known better. I am sorry, you dumb fucks. So I'm working some shit out still. Goddamn, stupid fucks. Dumbass fucking stupid fucks. Sorry.
I know it's not meant to be serious about its time travel, but the idea that stabbing the interface screen with a knife suddenly made the machine work.
Yeah.
Like, you're a great scientist. You can almost come up with a time travel machine, except you need somebody to stab the interface. And then, oh, she's trying to say I needed an extra conductor. Like, is this 1950s? Because that's 1950s horror movie science.
Extra right metal conductor.
That's Batman science.
You see, doctor. Well, doctor. He got dosed with radiation, doctor.
And
so eventually his vision is going to be so good, it sees the future.
And steel's not even that good of a conductor. If we're going to get right down to electrical engineering, it's not great. That's why we use copper wiring still.
There's a copper knife.
There we go. Jeff just solved the movie. It's not that far-fetched anymore.
And she
a copper knife.
She believed her
off of it, and there's copper underneath.
Was a time traveler so fast. She's like, "Oh, you knew my notebook? Okay." I'm like, "You didn't. That's as much as you had to tell her before she was on board with this." Like Back to the Future, it took a little while before Doc Brown was like, "Oh, okay," and it took even longer for Crispin Glover to come around. Granted, he's a fucking crazy person, but yeah, she was accepted into this too fast, and then
No, I mean, it didn't take Doc Brown that long. It took him what?
It took him longer than this.
It took him 10 minutes as opposed to her 7.
That was like a scene. She's like, "Come here. I know you for your notebook."
And it was a scene in Back to the Future. He puts that fucking weird ass fucking suction cup on his head, asks him like 4 questions, and he's like, "You're from the future." It's been a while since you've seen Back to the Future, clearly.
It does not go that quick, because Emmett Brown, Dr. Brown, is saying, "Well, who's the president? Ronald Reagan." The actor.
So I'm saying, but it's a very short-lived scene. It's very quick. So
you have to tell him exactly what happened, how he
fell off the toilet.
Travel, yeah.
There was
some on the toilet, hit his head, flux capacitor.
It didn't take one sentence for him to say that before Doc Brown was like, "All right." This was like, "I'm from the future."
And the sentence was, "I know you own a notebook," and she's like, "You know I own a notebook?"
She knew the title of the notebook. I'm just not gonna. I know this is a hill you guys are trying to die on right now. My whole thing is like the fact that she fucking time traveled at all is pretty implausible. In a fucking photo booth. Okay. Let's go back.
That part I'm totally in for. That part is totally reasonable to me.
That makes sense to me. You can definitely fit that technology into a fucking photo booth.
It's reasonable.
Oh man!
And if I put an out of order sign on it, no one will fuck with it.
No one will touch it. No one will look inside and see that there's a knife stuck into a touch screen, which they've never seen a touch screen before in their lives.
That in reality, if that carnival is semi-abandoned, you know a homeless person is pooping in that photo booth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. For sure.
I've got a solution for that.
Speaking of, can we please go to like an abandoned amusement park or something at some point?
I'm in. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
That sounds awesome. I'll jump a fence. I don't give a shit. Trespassing's a minor misdemeanor. Um,
I didn't know, officer. I thought I had permission to be here.
I had no idea.
I'll be like,
I'll send.
when you were a teenager, you had a notebook. I'm from the future. And then he'll be like, whoa, I'm shook.
If you received a mysterious email that said, meet me at this abandoned amusement park, and what am I going to do, officer? I got to follow the email. They got a Nigerian prince held captive if I don't investigate this park.
I'm saying. Chris, I feel like you have strong opinions about this movie. I've been talking a lot about the things that I like and dislike. What?
Just that part.
How are you?
I mean, I agree with the horror. I think the thing that I liked the most about the time travel part was the end. Because usually, like, the end of a time travel movie like Back to the Future, it's like, oh no, we're rich now. Oh no, we've got the truck that I always wanted. Oh no, our bully's washing our car. But this had some, not actual repercussions, but, like, stuff was actually different. But, like, not in a bad way, but just different. Right. And her fucking name was different, which was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
And so it was.
I like how she was
nice to see.
She was attracted to her father and her gay brother. She was like, "Oh, he's hot. That's my dad. Oh, he's hot. That's my gay brother." Like that was hilarious.
I would have liked to seen even though it's a comedy, I agree, more menace. It needed more menace.
Yep.
So she had the first kill. She ended up interfering just enough for the kill to take place in a different place. I did like how the musician has now completely changed genres.
Yeah.
He was the goth metal, alternative guy, and now he's some kind of emo dude singing about a waterbed away.
Right. That was good. Yeah, and I like how they touch on the Mandela effect. That was fun. I liked their theory on time travel, which was a lot of fun. It's like, no, if your parents never like hook up or whatever, like, and create you, then you don't disappear. Like, you just don't have any family anymore. Like, you'll be basically a genetic anomaly.
But because of that, you open up the loophole that there should be two of the main girl in the present time now. The one who time traveled back and came back, and the one who was born second. So they both should exist in this timeline.
That's true. That'll be the second movie.
And I hope the second one born is the killer chasing after the first one born.
Right.
And I fuck this up.
That could be the American time crimes. That never happened.
Time Crimes is so good. We gotta watch Time Crimes sometime.
Agreed. You know, was it Cronenberg that was supposed to do the American one, and then it just never happened? That'd have been.
I think that'd
have been hot.
So good.
Did you guys ever watch Time Crimes? It's I forget where it was from. It wasn't a U.S. film.
Portugal or some shit like that. It's 2003-ish. Oh, I think Jackie was alive. That was 2005. What are you doing to me? Now I gotta Google IMDb Time Crimes.
Time Crimes.
That was a great one.
2007.
2007.
Sounds about right.
That's when I graduated high school.
Yep.
Anybody else want to talk about something? I've pretty much hit my points.
I think I can't say how much I loved the trope of 2023 teen being in 1987. Like, comes out of the photo booth, sees a dude's shirt that says Federal Booby Inspector. It's like, your shirt is super problematic, man. Like, that was good. The smoking in the car with the windows up, hilarious. The just trying to, like, get everyone to be friends and shit. Like, stop being so fucking confrontational and, like, cliquey and shit, and, like, just let people be people. That whole vibe. I thought it was really funny to kind of see, like, because even when I was in high school, like in the early 2000s, like school was, again, I'm not in high school now, but I feel like it's very different than it is now, where hopefully people are more inclusive and more, as the right would say, it woke. It's not a bad thing. But it was just, it was a fun sort of dynamic. And I feel like if older people watch this and they kind of see that sort of like that dynamic, maybe they'll be like, okay, yeah, that's, kind of fucked, but probably not. I really enjoyed that though.
What's most fucked up about that thing, and not particular to this movie, but in real life, is that the people that are so close-minded now, they were the hippies back then.
Right.
And they're like young people, and they're tearing up the world. Yeah, your parents thought the same thing about you.
Right.
That's how things happen.
Right.
You are tearing up the world because every generation tears up the world and remakes it in their image, and sometimes the older generation hits a point where they're like, "No, we're gonna keep it the same, motherfucker. You guys are gonna die before us."
Yeah.
So, and I'm 50 fucking years old. I'm part of the old and crusties. So, but I'm young at heart.
Right.
That's
what matters.
Could come true. It could happen to you if you're young at heart.
You have it.
Disney's going to unthaw himself and come sue me.
Jeff, you have any strong feelings about this movie at all?
No, not really. I mean, it was just a movie.
Jeff is getting burgled.
He's still getting burgled. 5 weeks of burgled.
How many? Gosh, damn.
It's the Guinness World Record of the longest burgle.
Guinness.com. We have something going on.
Just don't go into the other room. Stay in the wrong room. Go out the window.
Jeff would beat every horror movie made from between 1990 and 2010. Just stay in the room in the corner and you'll live.
Yeah.
That's all you have to fucking do.
Don't open the door. That's it.
All you gotta do.
Don't have to lock it. No, it was a bit hard to get into. She was like, "Oh, there's the killer," and like all of a sudden, like boom, they're like being chased at the very beginning,
Yeah.
And then the whole like, "Oh, we're doing time travel now." Thinking, all right, what's an interesting idea? It's just I don't feel like nothing really worked at that point. Like, oh, we're just gonna be time travel now. Like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
So
It's a very scene to scene movie. Like you're not. It's very much this happens and then this happens. It's not a this happens but then this happens. There's no causation and effect really.
I feel like there's a whole genre being created at this moment with movies like Freaky, Happy Death Day, where it's like, oh, let's put some metaphysical spin on horror.
Until Dawn coming out.
Horror, Freaky Friday horror, Back to the Future horror. So there's a whole like genre of that currently. So
it's a great sort of premise though, because it subverts, like it obviously fucked me up. I couldn't even remember that the killer at the very beginning of the movie is not the killer, for the mainstay of the movie. It's a great sort of premise though to subvert expectations, right? So like, and me as a movie watcher, my wife can attest, I am like about 30 minutes into the movie, I will tell her the ending, and 95% of the time I'm right, because movies all follow the same fucking tropes and I know what's going to happen. And so it kind of, I still enjoy the journey of getting to that ending, but like knowing the ending's kind of boring. So like subverting my expectations is how you win me over. Lucky number 11 If you've never seen it, it's amazing. It doesn't fuck your head up, but it's got a great sort of gotcha ending. I love it. So, but yeah, subverting expectations I think is great, and time travel is a great way to do that. So I'm very excited for Until Dawn. I'm hoping that is on par with my expectations, but we shall see.
In the meantime, you might prep by watching Happy Death Day.
I have not seen it yet. You've sang its praises before, so
yeah, I like it. I feel like it's just a better done horror than this. There's menace, although there's still the comedy and there's still the fun of the Groundhog Day.
Right.
So, but also, why did your mom and parents name you Tree? That should be illegal. Just like like Clear Rivers. If your last name is Rivers and your parents name you Clear,
Apple,
lock those motherfuckers up.
Oh, that movie's birthday was
your
just
last
a
name is
couple days
West
ago.
and they name you North. That's lock them up. Lock them up.
All right. Well, are we ready to rate this? I feel like we have reached the point that it is time to rate.
Yeah.
All right. Tim, since this was your pick, you were going to go first. No, I'm joking. That's not how we do this. It's not how we do this.
That's not how it goes.
I'll go first. I liked it. I thought this was like one of those, going into it, I thought this was one of those like Netflix like exclusive, like made for Netflix whatevers, and I'm like, oh, I had preconceived notion going into it being like, oh, this is gonna be just kind of so mid, and it wasn't. I didn't think it was that. Very quickly I was like, this is better than I was expecting it to be. And I think the dodgeball thing won me over pretty good. The smoke in the car was pretty good, but the dodgeball scene, I was like, that was real dodgeball back in the day. Shit would hurt. And then, you know, some of the tropes. I don't love because every like teenage time travel thing, it's always like they time travel and then everybody in the past is like the dumbest people alive. I'm like, this is every time travel thing ever, so yeah. I don't need to see it done again, that aspect of it. But like their jokes about the 80s were on well, I like that. And
she showed him her phone and the one person is like, is that a brick? Like, I mean, I know you don't know it's a phone, but clearly it's not a brick. We knew what bricks were in the 80s.
She had the best battery life in history, by the way.
Yeah. The one thing that was pretty good was how, like, when she goes to sign up for school, or not even sign up, but like, you know, get into the school and pretend she's, you know, this new kid. They just let her in, and she's like, you don't need to. And she's like, just go to fucking class.
You don't need to verify? She's like, verify? What is this, Fort Knox?
Yeah. How many people are trying to sneak into a school?
She makes the joke about what's it like getting on an airplane or whatever she says.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, I think it was a little more security than that back in the day, but not much. And there was even commercials being like, do you know where your kids are? It's because they didn't. Those existed for a reason.
When the street lights come on, my parents would lock us out of the house and tell us to come back when the street lights came on.
Yes, that was the thing.
I'm dying of dehydration out here. There's a fucking hose out back.
Yes. We are dying. We are dehydrated. We have fucking heat stroke setting in.
I would bicycle to town from Mom's house. There's a big ass fucking hill on Norris Ave. I'd bicycle into town. I'd play basketball or football or whatever all day, and then ride back at twilight. That fucking hill, whoop my ass every time. And but yeah, no, we lived 2-3 miles outside of town, so I mean it was no small feat. And but I'd be gone all day, so I was always safe, but yeah, no, it's a different time for sure. I will not let my son ride a bicycle 15 minutes away from my house. There's no fucking way. I will drive him myself.
There you have it. And because of that, I'm giving this a 5.5. Could have went harder with the horror. They could have got like a Scream aspect with the slasher parts. The mask could have been better.
Yeah.
They could have tweaked it. It could have got there if they unshift the eyes, make something unnatural. Don't just have Max Headroom. You could have went a little harder.
Sure.
If Johnny Bravo fucked Max Headroom on the set of Primus's Winona's Big Brown Beaver, while they both wore Duracell batteries in their sphincters.
You get it.
Got it.
Yeah. Somebody.
Are you watching my dreams?
That was my dream.
Oh,
this is how we start our Freddy arc. But yeah, 5.5. It was pretty in the middle. I liked parts of it. I didn't like other parts of it.
Sure.
Some good jokes, some not great jokes. I could take it. I could leave it. I don't think I need a sequel.
No. What did I... Dave, do you have what I rated Jack Frost?
yes.
Okay. It's got to be higher than that. It's definitely better than Jack Frost.
I'll wait till you rate, or do you want to know? Well, I won't play you like that. Tim,
No.
you rated Jack Frost a 4.
Okay. That seems
right.
that seems right.
Okay, here we go. 1, if somebody would help me, my dementia brain, when we're done with the rating, before we wrap up, before we close, remind me to talk about somebody's character arc not in this movie that I wanted to bring up this week, and I totally fucking forgot because I didn't have my notebook when I was thinking about it. But potentially, we'll talk about this movie when the Chuddies come around
Chuddies.
as the best soundtrack.
I get a chubby when the Chuddies come around.
I totally get a chubby for the Chuddies. But that soundtrack, we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a decent little soundtrack. It is like light and entertaining and nothing serious. Like I almost want to say it's like a palate cleanser. I had seen this once before, and it was I only watched it the one time till this week. So that kind of tells you something, because if something's really good, I tend to devour it multiple times. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's special. But it is pretty good. It is a unique try and a unique premise. I just think it could have been pulled off a little bit more better. And I gotta pull up her name here for 1 second. The
Nafita,
the director, Nachka Khan.
I was pretty close.
If you look at her IMDb page, she's got like 6, 7, 8 credits, something like that. But they're all like lighthearted comedy and stuff like that. They're, so this seems kind of on brand for her. Could this be somebody's entry into horror? I could see that. Except I don't know that someone who's watching this as an entry into horror is going to like actual horror, because there's not enough horror here to kind of pull you that direction. Like, you need you should be a little bit scarred on your first horror movie. So I think Lost Boys is
in the words of the main character, too horny too soon.
Too horny too soon. It is cool that she mentions Scream. You brought it up. I think Jeff or somebody brought up that she calls out Scream. Scream known, all but one Scream movie has 2 killers, and in fact we do have 2 killers in this movie. So there are a ton of references, which I kind of like that.
Yeah, I do too.
And had my rating down. I always try to have my rating down before anyone starts giving theirs because I don't want to be influenced. And I gave this movie a 5.5.
Oh shit.
So, for reference, so Tim, you knew. For reference, Chris gave Jack Frost a 3, and I gave Jack Frost a 5. So far, all three of us have gone higher than Jack Frost. Jeff, you gave Jack Frost a 2. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you're higher on this than Jack Frost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely better than Jack Frost.
2.5. I'm writing it down, Jeff. I have a feeling.
What do you think, Jeff?
It is Jeff.
I mean, yeah.
It is Jeff.
The acting was definitely a lot better than Jack Frost. The comedy was definitely more on par than Jack Frost. even the kills. So I mean, everything is better, highly elevated. The movie has a lot of camp to it. The comedy kind of camp. We've talked about it. It makes so many different references to so many different other movies. So I mean, it's just one of those kind of comedies. Like they really could have pushed harder on the horror, especially just that one scene where they're just talking and she's like, "Oh look, there's the killer behind us." It's like didn't seem scary at all. There's like, oh, and then they just run off. All right. Then we just jump into time travel, which is, I mean, it's an interesting premise. It's just that, okay, there's teen girl, she's super smart, built a time machine that her mom couldn't build. Or, I mean, I guess she built it too, but I mean, they didn't know about the extra component.
She just hadn't learned what a knife was yet. A copper knife.
Right.
Copper knife. Cannon. Copper knife.
She's like, I tried a plastic fork. That didn't do anything.
There's this scene where she's outside of her mom's condo, which is the cabin in the woods. And she's like tapping on the glass. It seemed like, oh no, he kills the killer. The killer's looking right at her. It's like, why don't you bang on it? That didn't sound like it was very solid.
This is life or death.
You're in the woods. Find something and bust the window out. Yeah. She's running around the house like, and he has plenty of time to kill this person. By the time they even get inside the house, by the time she finds someone else to like, hey, let me in. So and they're all
when they find him, he basically whips all three of their ass.
He's a black. He took karate at the mall.
Was the weed just stronger back then, or just kids stupider? Because they just they act like every movie where they smoke weed, where they're like super high, and it's like, what are they on? Because I've never had anything that strong.
She mentions how shitty the weed is because she's had like 5 brownies and she's like not that high, and
like
so
it's
like
sticks and stems.
Yeah, I did like how the current day sheriff was the biggest pothead of the 87 teens. I thought that was great.
Accurate.
Yeah, accurate. But yeah, no, I don't. I mean, they were a little faded, right? They were drunk and high, so they got that going for them. And then when she made that screwdriver, and it was like this much vodka and a splash of orange juice, I was like, "Oh shit, girl, you're gonna be fucking throwing up for days."
My favorite
and then she
part
tasted
was that
it and was like, no, it needs more vodka.
It adds more vodka. Yes. Thank you, Jeff. That was my favorite part, too.
Yeah.
And
just the movie alone, just on the comedy was good. So
yeah.
No, I'm actually giving it lower than everyone else. So my rating is 5.
5. Okay, just slightly lower.
Slightly lower.
3 up from Jack Frost.
Yeah.
10.
It was a 2. Yeah.
It's definitely better than Jack Frost. Definitely better than Jack Frost. No, I really enjoyed it. But again, as I've said every episode, I'm going to rate this based on the horror factor. So I really enjoyed it. I thought that the overall, I thought the camp was good. Like, there's bad camp and there's good camp, and I thought this was done in a not necessarily organic way, because again, it's like a scene and then scene and then scene, and like it's not forced, but it's not organic either. It's a very like each scene is very compartmentalized into its like its own little box. But I enjoyed the scenes as they happened. It was really fun for me. I really liked the 2023 teen in the 80s trope of it all, where she was like trying to like make friends and just be cool and be chill, and like everyone is so vain and so self-absorbed in the excess of America that they can't be bothered with this new girl that's just trying to like, you know, sort of spread peace and love. So I thought that was super funny. And then just the smoking in the car, the dodgeball scene, the going to the house party originally scene, like being like, yeah, we'll just go right in or whatever. Like, it was super fun. So I really enjoyed that. The horror, the only saving grace for this movie was the first kill with the mom, because I thought it was so fun. I thought it was so cool. And then when the killer stabs the dad in the head just walking by the live TV camera, I was like, holy fuck, that was so cool. It was grainy, and so like I could tell it was CGI, but it was just grained out enough to where like it still looked kind of good.
I thought the effect was,
yeah, it was,
but it was a what the fuck moment. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, and I thought that was fucking awesome.
And you don't even know that's his dad that he's killing yet.
Right. So I'm gonna agree with Dave and Chris here. I'm gonna say as far as a horror movie goes, I think it's a 5.5 for sure.
Dave, you were almost right.
It's not a scary movie. It's not an overly funny movie. But I can't say that when I was watching it that I was really ever bored. Like I was invested. I was there to watch it. I wanted to see what happened. But it wasn't, I wasn't enthralled, but I also wasn't completely bored. So
I just didn't feel like there were any real stakes. I never felt like her or her mom were ever in danger.
That's my whole thing. If they would have done the Back to the Future thing where she disappears, and that's the thing in horror movies, like when people get a little bit selfish or super heroic, it sort of like pulls you in. She was never super heroic or selfish.
Yeah,
she was just kind of there the whole time.
Jeff's complaint would have put something in that category at least. Bust the window open. It's life or death. Why did she not do that? That makes too much sense.
If it was her mom, she would have invested more time into.
Yeah, she's like, who is this bitch anyways? She's exactly your mother's daughter.
Right. She died a long time ago, so who cares?
Yeah.
It would have introduced a neat element if she had to make sure that the friends died, but didn't let her mom die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
Fun. Yeah.
And then she turns out to be both killers.
She lets all the friends die, and as she's like watching them be killed, she's like, okay, this is how I'm gonna kill him after he kills the last one. And then come to find out she killed the wrong person anyway, and her mom dies anyway. Been super dark ending.
Yeah.
Right?
She's trapped in the past and she just starts murdering everybody.
There you go. Totally kill her too.
With bees. I'm going to murder with bees. Jeff,
Um,
sure you don't want to add a 0.5 to your score?
No.
Not too late.
well,
It is
Jeff,
too late.
5.5, 5.55 gives us an average score of 5.4 rounded. So
there they are. There they are.
It's better than Jack Frost, baby.
It's better than Jack Frost.
Jack Frost was an average of 3.5. Unwelcome was a 5.9.
Jeff.
Lowest rating of the week.
And then I'm not going to go through the three of us, so I'm just going to black Jeff out for a second. Or I won't, because I clicked on the wrong thing. Hey, we did it.
Black myself
We did
out.
it. High five. High five. High five. High five. Good job. Good beer pull. And Jeff's back. All right.
Just turn on my camera. It was not.
But there we have it. There's another show in the books. And next week we were talking about something at the beginning. That's John Lithgow. We're going to be talking about him next week, because next week, if the whole episode isn't Horror Hound, because it very well could be, because I think last year's was. So it's either next week or the week after is my pick, which is Twilight Zone the movie, 1983, which gets super dark. I think it's an okay movie, but there is some big controversy, big things that happened during one of the scenes from that is pretty crazy. If you have never read about it or seen about it.
Picking up while you're putting it. I know where you're at.
I have not, so I am.
Just watch the movie
interested to
first.
see my take.
Watch the movie
I'll watch
first.
It. Yeah.
And then dive into that if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm gonna not watch the movie that I'm on a podcast about to talk about the movie.
No, I mean the info that I'm talking about, this thing that happened.
I'll just wait for
behind
you
the
to get the
scenes.
info.
The controversial thing is not the movie.
It's not a scene, anything in the movie.
Oh.
It's when they were shooting it, something happened.
Okay.
So save that till after.
I want to be
you watch it.
surprised when you talk about it, Chris. So
You don't know what it is? I'm surprised you don't know what it is.
I'm surprised Jeff don't know.
Okay. Well,
I don't know either, so I won't.
Okay.
I won't look it up. I'll just watch.
you
the
can look
movie
it
and
up
be done with it.
because we'll talk about it, but watch the movie first so it doesn't do anything to the movie. Because I could see that being like a weird thing, like you're watching it and you're like, oh, okay. But anyways, our next movie, whether that's in a week or 2 weeks, is Twilight Zone the movie.
The thing I wanted to talk about, I'm super into. I don't know where you're at, Chris. For those who don't know, John Cena has done more Make-A-Wish wishes than anybody ever alive.
This is true.
The dude works nonstop doing Make-A-Wish wishes for kids who want to see their hero, the ultimate good guy, John Cena, and he's on his farewell tour with the WWE.
Yes.
And has taken his villain role era is active.
Yeah.
And therefore, I saw him in the ring the other day. He's like, "Oh, you are all dumb sons of bitches. Even that kid there wearing my shirt. You're all fucking stupid. I hate you all.
There's so many.
I'm here. I'm the star. You guys are nothing."
There's so many videos out there of compilations of kids crying when he turned heel. It's like,
Yes.
That's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
He is going hard, man, for the dude that does genuinely a nice guy. I think genuinely funny. Anytime I've ever seen him act, he is genuinely funny. And seems like I said, genuinely a nice guy. Has volunteered, has done more Make-A-Wish wishes than anyone alive, and he's taken a heel turn, and I'm so there for it. It's so good.
That's so fucked. Because there's gonna be kids that he doesn't get to, that they don't make it. thinking that John Cena is an asshole, and that's sad.
I told Stella, I was like, do you know how many kids are rolling over in their graves right now?
You asshole. They were all unvaccinated. So we have that.
That's the whole thing with WWE though. Even with Vince McMahon gone, like the cool thing is to like do the unexpected thing and swerve you, and so that's what they still try to do with that. And what's the biggest swerve than turning John Cena as a bad guy? Nobody expected that.
It's great. During his farewell tour, there will not be a redemption arc. There'll be a redemption arc.
Hold on.
No one ever stayed.
This is what they're going to do.
It's called Pacemaker.
They're going to do like the
Season 2.
Tupac
Pacemaker?
hologram. It's going to be John Cena, the real John Cena, versus the evil John Cena that's been a physical hologram the entire time. And they're going to do a super choreographed wrestling match with a hologram. Look out for it.
There's one wrestling promotion that has like a doll, like a 6-foot tall doll as one of the wrestlers, and people go out there and wrestle with this doll, and they nearly always lose. Every clip I've ever seen, they lose. This doll kicks their fucking ass. But they'll go to body slam the doll, and they'll purposely flip themselves over so it looks like the doll countered everything. I mean, it's fucking great.
There's a Kenny Omega
I had a
clip.
teacher in elementary school, I think it was, who did that during one of the like little talent things. But he did it with the chair, the fold-up chair, okay. And he'd get his ass kicked by the chair.
I love it.
All right. Well, if you're at Horror Hound in 2 days on Saturday, we will see you there. Arbiter, welcome in. They're really judging you, Jeff. They're really judging you for not knowing what we were talking about.
Yep.
But he will know in a couple weeks at least.
Are being judged.
But yeah, we'll be in Cincinnati next week, or we'll be in Cincinnati on Saturday. So if you recognize us,
be on the lookout.
Come talk.
If you
Dave
have
wearing a free interview sign.
Yes, I'm super interested in.
That's all. Just a free interview sign.
Doing dumb interviews with people.
Nothing else.
Getting your horror opinions. Asking you if you could dig a hole and bury every copy of Blind Manor, how deep would you dig it?
Thanks for the follow.
Thank you, sir. Or ma'am.
Or neither. Maybe you don't want to be. You won't be held down by titles.
Non-binary. That's fine.
Yeah. We accept all.
But we are out of here. Once again.
All right.
Going with the science spin. But watch your Twilight Zone the movie, 1983. Maybe watch some of the series too, because in a couple more weeks, I don't know. I don't know.
I've already started my research for that one as well.
Oh shit.
I don't know.
Luckily, there are only like 150 episodes of television you need to watch for that.
I have a 3-year-old. I don't have the time.
You only have
Just
time.
watch your favorites. Watch the classics.
I don't have any favorites. I've never watched Twilight Zone.
You got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Monsters on Maple Street. Right there.
Maple Street.
Just Google
Ray Bradbury.
best episodes and then watch like the top 5 or whatever.
There we go.
Because that's probably what we'll talk about. Maybe.
There we go.
But all right, we will see you guys later. Beer tug. Beer tug. Beer tug. Beer tug. Beer tug.
Beer tug.
Beard
tug.
Beer tug.
Oh, sorry.
Beer tug. Quit talking about Blind Manor like that.
I was distracted by the cat. Hey Jeff, tell the cat I said. Psst, 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 psst.